Dun, 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 dun. It's like Batman. It's like some kind of surf music / Batman /
Sounds like something from A Few Dollars More with Clint Eastwood.
Sounds like that or porn. It's like a little porn going on. Let's check it out. It's gonna get a little weird right now. Ready? Here it comes. That's a Hammond B3 organ for folks keeping notes. All right, flush after listening. The show where we talk, you listen, and shut the fuck up. And we're going to say something probably good, so keep queued up.
Oh, I suppose you will.
We both will, Dennis. All right, enough of that shit. Hey, you know what that reminds me of, Dennis? That reminds me of the old superhero, Batman. I'm thinking about Batman. I'm thinking about Robin.
You mean the Burt West Batman?
Yeah, the old Burt West. Remember that shit? That was fucking awesome. Why did the floor always have to shift when they got into the fight? Remember the floor would shift? It would be like all sideways and...
Well, they had to simulate some kind of rough movement, and then they little balloons that said wham and bam and crash, and that was a strange show.
Stimulate, not simulate.
Adam West, not Burt West. It was Adam West.
Adam West, Burt West, same fucking shit. 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. But this brings up a great subject. This brings up superheroes. This brings up something we've talked about. Hold on a second. Why is it that Hollywood is so fixated on destroying and fucking really destroying? They have totally bastardized everything fucking superhero. First they put out the Avengers, then they put out X-Men, then the Avengers. If I'm wrong here, for the nerds that are into superheroes, then I apologize. But it was like X-Men, Avengers, Iron Man, the Hulk, fucking Captain America, fucking Wonder Woman, fucking...
Well, Captain America in the Civil War. Now, how ridiculous can you get? That's not even close to reality.
I never watched it, so I don't know. But my big problem is... here's my problem. The Hulk... You and I talked about this. The Hulk with Lou Ferrigno, and I cannot remember who played David Banner. Bill Bixby. Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno. That was a great show. It was fucking real. It was believable in a sense. David Banner was small framed. Lou Ferrigno was a mesomorph. Bill Bixby was an ectomorph. If you know bodybuilding, you're getting hard on right now. But there was a believable amount of that growth. Now, when Ed Norton took the part and became the Hulk, it was a little ridiculous. But, Dennis, it was at least believable. The fucking Hulk now is like 15 feet taller. He's like a giant. Like, that's not what the Hulk is. The Hulk is not this giant Godzilla-like fucking thing. The Hulk is a man that transforms with gamma ray delted into the remember the song? It's all like David Bruce Banner, then by gamma rays turns into the Hulk, and then like he gets big, but he doesn't grow skyscraper big. It's ridiculous.
No, he outgrows his clothes.
Yeah, always.
You know, thing of it is, that whole thing, and I agree with it. It was a good show. I used to watch it. But it's basically just a remake of Jekyll and Hyde. They just modernized it a slight bit so that everybody would be in tune with it, because Nobody ever read Jekyll and Hyde. Nobody ever saw the old movies, Jekyll and Hyde. So that's the reason they came up with this kind of transformation, as opposed to Jekyll and Hyde, which was good versus evil.
Well, and Hulk was never really evil. If you remember, Hulk never hurt anybody that wasn't fucking infringing on him. The Hulk, usually Lou Ferrigno's Hulk, pulled people from cars, saved people. The Hulk they have now is all like mean, and he's stomping a mud hole in your ass. And
well, that's more of the Jekyll and Hyde takeover, where the evil persona takes over the good persona.
That's fine, but Hulk's not 15 feet tall. They fucked it up with Superman. I didn't see Wonder Woman, so I can't say anything. I know you like the Iron Man one, but I could care less about it. I'm not really into the superhero thing. Like, even Batman, they did a good job with Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger did a great job as a Joker. Christian Bale did a great job as Batman. Fucking Ben Affleck, as I call Bent Affleck, he was not Batman. And they had him play Batman in that recent movie. Ben Affleck is not Batman. He sucks.
He can't even run the New Year's Eve thing right down in Times Square.
No, you're thinking of that other asshole. You're thinking of that fucking jerk off. What's his fucking name? Oh, Christ. You got me all derailed now.
It's similar.
They look the same. It's the same shit. Same shit, different flies.
Yeah. Well, it's like when we were talking the other night. I grew up with the original Steve Reeves Superman.
Oh, that was when we also said that was. If you look back now, it's pretty bad. I mean, I agree with you.
But back then, it was pretty damn good entertainment.
Oh, it was. I mean, even me, I'm a little bit behind you in age, but you're right. Excuse me. Watching it as a kid, I watched the reruns. Faster than a speeding bullet, faster than a train, jump skyscraper. I mean, it was a cool. The intro was really cool, but I mean, come on, really. It's now when you see him with the tights. I mean, we can't really, we can't say it's nice now. I mean, I think the best Superman was fucking Christopher Reeve. He was the best Superman there was.
He was good.
Yeah, and he was believable, and it didn't get boring. Gene Hackman was good, too, as Lex Luthor. I mean, that was just a good setup. I actually think Richard Pryor was in one of them. Yeah, Richard Pryor was in one of them, if you think back.
It's one of the worst things. They come out with, after the original Superman, they started coming out finally with, like, say, Christopher Reeves and Superman. Well, then they have to do Smallville. Now they need to do Superman as a teenager.
I know, and that's not bad. But then it goes Superman, and then they suck the sponge dry. They just absorb it like you wouldn't believe, and they destroy the character. I thought the first Fantastic Four was a good movie. I thought they did a good job with that. But later, it just got to be too much. And, you were kind of going somewhere with what you said about going back to the past. For some reason, I thought about the old talk shows. I thought about, like, Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon. Like, I know you like Johnny Carson. I think he was okay, too. I'm not probably as big a fan. But, I mean, when you look at Johnny, he had Ed McMahon. He was not related to me. Ed McMahon. You had good shows when you had Johnny and Ed, and Johnny did all kinds of stuff. Now, here come Dave Letterman. Dave was good in the beginning, too. But fucking don't even get me started on fucking Jay Leno. Here we go again. But I'm going to skip that because I don't want to get mad. But now you got, like, Jimmy Kimmel, this fucking Jimmy, what's the other guy?
Conan O'Brien.
Well, Conan's not even really a factor in it. It's Jimmy Kimmel, the other guy from Saturday Night Live. And why did David Letterman put that fucking asshole on his spot? That fucking jerk off. what the fuck is his name?
I don't know. I never watched it after Carson left.
He is a complete asswipe. I can't think of his name now, Dennis. But anyway, he took the spot from David Letterman. I just... Oh, hang on a second. I just got an alert. Hold on. Something must be going on.
Weather alert?
Yeah, I mean, it's like serious. Uh-oh. Oh, that's Johnny. That's the guy who took over the Dave Letterman show. Just sent me a message. He's pissed at me for being derogatory.
Well, you know, you're not old enough to remember some of these, but the Arthur Godfrey Talent Hour was a great show.
Don't know. I mean, but I think David Letterman was a good show. And I think...
and Milton Berle. I used to watch Milton Berle.
I think Uncle Milty was good, too. I've watched some of those. I think that was a good show. I think Carson was a good show. I don't think these current shows... You know, remember Johnny would do a skit where he would get into like a loincloth and a club, and he would do these skits.
Oh, he'd put on a Swami's hat and read minds. And
it was entertaining.
He was.
This shit
he was
now
very
is
entertaining.
Yeah, the shit
he
now...
actually, in a sense, he was a modernized vaudeville act on a lot of his shows.
I can agree with that. I can agree.
You know?
Yeah, I can agree. I think he was entertaining. I don't think the current stuff, is as entertaining as what's going on now. I hate to say it, but I'm just not a fan of this current shit that's going on. And, you know, I'm not trying to be derogatory to anybody that's on the TV now. I just don't see it.
Well, I grew up with too many of the older entertainment television for a lot of stuff today for me to say it's even halfway entertaining.
Well, there's, you know, you watch modern stuff.
On occasion. But in the last 10 years, I haven't had television.
Yeah, live television. But I do think that there is some good stuff out there. I'm just struggling with the superhero thing, and I struggle with the fucking late night TV and the talk shows. And at this day and age, we don't really need talk shows. I mean, it's unnecessary. We really don't need them. I mean, you get all your information on...
You're saying that they don't need us.
I mean, I don't mean us. I just talked us out of a job.
No, you did.
I said I just talked us out of a job. But, I mean, no, we're different. We have a different...
A little different, yes.
We have a different format. So if I'm Johnny Carson, then you're Ed McMahon.
You know, well, actually, we don't have a format. That's what makes us different. Right. Because we never know until we turn the damn thing on what we're going to talk about, and we never know. One of us is going to say something, and the other cues him, and he says, "Oh, shoot, I want to bring this up," and it may not even be really related to what was said. It's just another topic suddenly starts rolling in. Yeah. And that was how I felt about the Carson and shit. I mean, I don't watch TV either. I don't have TV. I don't watch it. I watch Netflix. I watch Amazon Prime. And you know me. I don't watch much TV anyway. I'm more wrapped up in doing things. Like kids nowadays, even adults, they watch too much fucking TV. You can't believe what you see on TV, everybody. Fucking hate the news. The fucking news is just nothing but depressing, brainwashing nonsense. If you did watch a clip of the Mario Brothers game, though.
Where'd you watch that?
Oh, it was a little deal up on YouTube. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry a bag of mushrooms with me. And every time I see a midget, I'm going to hand him a mushroom and say, "Grow, Mario, grow, grow."
Well, you better be careful what kind of bag of mushrooms you're carrying around, because if you're carrying the wrong kind of bag, you might be detained by officers for carrying the wrong kind of bag of mushrooms.
Well, I'll buy a little bag box type at the local grocery store.
Here's the best scenario. Let's do this, okay? Let's figure out how drug addicts are more intelligent than Einstein. Okay, so here we go. Let's take cow shit. Let's move it away. A pile of dung. Let's move it away. And let's pick out the shrooms that are growing underneath the cow shit mushrooms. Let's pick them out and let's do this. Let's cut them into pieces and let's eat them. And let's get fucking higher than the moon and sun. What brainchild sat down and figured out that if you ate chiclets, little pieces of mushroom that grew under cow shit, you can get higher than if you fucking swallowed a tab of LSD? Everybody's going, how do you know that? Well, trust me, I know it.
Well, you got to remember, mushrooms are a natural food eaten by a lot of people across this planet. Now, here in the United States, you have to go back to the Native American Indians. So one day they're out foraging and notice that there's mushrooms growing in this pile of shit that they picked up that they're going to use for their fire. It's all dried out. And they say, oh, wow, there's mushrooms. I wonder if they're edible. So somebody takes the chance and eats one to find out if they're going to be poisoned or not. Instead, he suddenly is having visions of the great bald eagle and everything else, so it became restricted to only the medicine men. And they, of course, would have visions before every time they went to war or whatever.
Or visions of Cookie Monster and the Hamburglar and Grimace from McDonald's coming in your room and fucking totally destroying your entire room in your house. That's what shrooms does. That's what fucking shrooms does. Or has you seeing the Temple of Doom and snakes and everything else in a garage.
Well, they're now legalizing shrooms in some states.
Well, they ought to. I mean, here's the thing about shrooms. If you eat them, you get too fucked up. You get yourself something to eat real fast, it goes away. It's not like LSD. LSD's bad news. You get tripped out, you tripped out. But I mean, why? Oh, why would anybody figure this out? As you said, that's probably it. The Indians figured it out. The Indians ate fucking peyote. If you think about it, the Indians were the first hippies. They were eating peyote. They were fucking swallowing mushrooms like probably candy. They were so fucking high. Everybody goes, the Indians were such peaceful people. No, they weren't fucking peaceful. They were fucking high. They were fucking eating peyote. They were fucking eating dots off the ground, and they were fucking eating chiclets underneath fucking cow shit. So when you think about the Indians being a peaceful people, no, they weren't peaceful. They were fucking dosed. They were fucking high. They were fucking smoking peace pipe. They were fucking laying around during the day. They were fucking eating shrooms, I don't know if you eat peyote. What do you do with it? I don't even know. They were consuming things that made them off kilter.
Well, that's just like there's Amazonian tribes that make up a concoction that they all drink, and it sends them off into Neverland. And then there's other Amazonian tribes that snort this red powder they make, and that sends them off into Neverland. It's something that's been around in our civilization for probably as long as man's walked this earth.
I'd like to try the red powder. I'll tell you what I did one time. Long time ago, somebody we knew went away, and they came back from Fiji or Bali, and we had a party. And this is the true story, folks, so this is no bullshit. And everybody gets together, and they have this drink. that you drink ceremonially over in Bali or Fiji or wherever the fuck it is. It's kava. Kava, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Anyway, it looks like mud. It smells like shit. And it don't taste good. What you do is you sit in a group, and I'm going to fuck this up, so if somebody knows, don't fucking slaughter me. What you do is you take a cup. It's a bowl. Excuse me. You take a sip. Actually, you clap your hands once. You take a sip. When you're done, you pass the bowl. You clap twice. Now, the bowl was passed one time. And I don't mean a bowl for you potheads that you smoke out of. It's a bowl. Like a bowl you eat food out of. But there's liquid in it. It's kava. So this is passed. And you're supposed to, clap, like I said. And here's how this works. For people that have never done this, Dennis. By the time you clap, take the first sip, pass the bowl, and go for the second clap. By the time you make the second clap, your hands are already tingling. And by the time the bowl is one or two people down, you can't feel your mouth. Your mouth is completely useless. Now your hands are completely useless. And you're thinking about moving your limbs, but guess what? They're not moving. And this lasts for what feels like a long time. It's probably about 10 or 15 minutes, maybe at the most. But you're all sitting in Indian position in a circle. And that's how they do it ceremonially. Why can't I say that fucking word? But anyway.
Ceremoniously.
Whatever. But by the time I clapped, first time, drank, passed, for me, by the time it left my hands to the next stooge, who was a guy I know actually, I was already feeling numb. And by the time it got a little ways away from me, I started thinking, what the fuck is going on here? And then I couldn't feel my teeth, my lips, my hands weren't working right. I couldn't move my limbs. And I said, what the fuck was that? So when it passed around the second time, I didn't take it. I didn't want nothing to do with it. And at that point, I had thought to myself, well, somebody drugged us. They put something in it. And then later it was explained to me what it is. And, and I'm thinking to myself, what am I, an asshole? Why did they even drink it? It looked like dishwater. It looked like mud. It tasted like shit. It probably tasted like coffee. Because to me, coffee is the most foulest thing on the earth. And everybody's going, really, dude? I love my... I see all these people. I'm an animal until I drink my coffee. I had coffee 2 times in my life. I had coffee twice in my life. Once as a small kid at 10 years old, and once about 8 or 9 years ago when I was hungover and got done surfing, and I almost puked drinking it. I had to put so much sugar in it. I don't know, Dennis, how anybody can drink fucking coffee. It's the most putrid thing in the world.
Well, I never drank it until I went in the service, and I was at Fort Knox, Kentucky in basic training in January. It was colder than snot, snow on the ground, freezing most of the time. And at 5 o'clock in the morning, coffee was hot, wasn't real strong, but it was hot and it kept you warm.
And that's understandable.
And that's how I got started drinking coffee.
And that's understandable. It was almost a survival kind of thing. And I can actually give credence to that story. But these people nowadays that go, oh, I can't start the day. Don't look at me. I'll murder you until I have my first. Give me a fucking break. Really, people, it's not anything. It's a putrid pile of shit. And everybody goes to me, oh, how can you smoke those nasty cigars? How can you drink that shit? It's like mud in a cup. And you have to do shit with sugar. And I take 2 creams and a dose of sugar and a little honey and a little hazelnut. If you got to put that much stuff in...
You don't go to Starbucks and get a latte?
Fuck, I don't even know what latte is.
Well, guess what? I don't either.
I have
and I drink coffee.
Dennis,
but I don't go to Starbucks.
I've never even been in a Starbucks. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know nothing about it. I don't know what a latte is. I don't know what a mocha latte. I've never seen it. I don't give a fuck if I ever see it. If I'm dead 10 times over, I don't know what people get out of it. And then and you know what? If it's your thing, that's your thing. But don't sit around and point a finger at me for lighting a cigar up in the morning, because you know what? I get something out of the cigar. People have been smoking cigars since the beginning of time, and they've been drinking coffee since the beginning of time. But the difference is, I don't like fucking coffee. I don't like the smell of it. I don't like the taste of it. I don't like the way it looks. I could take mud in a cup. But they all have to do... Here's the thing. If you were going to drink straight coffee, Dennis, I would be cool with that. If you're going to drink coffee straight, it's like drinking whiskey straight. Or rum. You don't.
Well, I drink coffee black. I don't put anything in it.
Well, then I give you credit. But it's like rum. You don't put Coke in rum. You just don't. You don't put Coke in Sailor Jerry or cask aged Myers rum. You
don't. Of course not. Sailor Jerry's is excellent with 7-Up. Never put Coke in it.
Never put anything in it. Nothing. It's like Myers rum, cask aged Myers rum. You don't put Coke in it. You don't ruin it. You're ruining what it's about. And it's like coffee. You don't. If you have to put all these things in it to make it taste good, why are you drinking it? Don't add all this nonsense.
It's a yuppie thing. Mm. I mean, why would they pay $10 for a cup that's no taller than that?
That's what it costs for a fucking cup of that shit?
Oh, it's $7.50 minimum and on up.
For a cup of coffee?
In fact, it's almost hard to get just a black cup of coffee at some of these places. They look at you like, what do you mean? What makes it black? What do we have to... I don't think we sell black coffee. What? I mean, they have no concept because they're so used to dumping 67 varieties of stuff in it, along with the whipped cream, and then drawing a smiley face in it.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. It costs that much money for a fucking... You might as well go to the bar. Fuck that shit. Well, yeah.
Go to the bar and buy a shot of what's it called? Absinthe? Yeah, absinthe.
Whatever it is.
Made with wormwood overseas. Germany.
Never heard of it.
I believe. It's really strong stuff. It was outlawed here in the United States up until just a very short time ago.
I wouldn't even drink that, but I'm not drinking coffee that's fucking $10 a cup. That's fucking ludicrous. That's fucking ridiculous. So if you have 2 cups of coffee at this fucking Starbucks, it's fucking close to $20.
Yeah.
$20 bill for a bunch
God
of
forbid
fucking...
you want a cinnamon roll. I mean, they charge an arm and a leg for those too.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's fucking ridiculous. Here's how I feel about that. Jerk me off. Bunch of fucking nonsense. That's yuppie. Like you said, yuppies have capitalized on it, I guess. That's where the money is.
The same ones that run around in their tutus and...
I don't know where you're going with it, but whatever. Go with it. I mean, they're tutus and they're pom-poms.
Well, that's what I think of yuppies. They're all these little socialist little piss ants. They're part of the 700 gender group. I mean, I got no use for yuppies.
Go ahead, Dennis. Preach on. Keep going.
That's the ones that wear their sweaters over their back, and they take the arms and they cross it in front of them, and they walk around with a tennis racket and little white fucking shorts.
Preach on, brother. I'm hearing you. Keep going. Preach on.
That's enough.
Come on, go ahead.
Pissed off 6,000 people already.
It's coming. Keep coming. Keep it coming. Keep going. God knows I've gone in enough rants. Go ahead. I can see it's got you.
That was it. I'm just sick and tired of yuppies.
I can see you got a mound of fire ants under your ball sack. You want to keep going. Go ahead and fire away.
Yeah, that's all right. I said enough.
Fucking fuck those fucking yuppies and their fucking fancy cars and their faggot chewing gum. These fucking homos chew gum because they don't want to smoke because smoking's out of vogue. So they go up and they're chewing like a fucking cow. And they always got their fucking hair parted to the side. They're driving their fancy. And they always got their fucking glasses on backwards. They put their sunglasses on backwards behind their head. Are you a fucking asshole? Like, your sunglasses...
They don't want their third eye to get sunburned.
Yeah, their third eye's up their ass, which is where they take it. Their fucking glasses are turned on behind their head. Listen, dude... Take your glasses and put them on your head in front because you can push them down on your eyes.
To me, there's nothing either more ridiculous than if you're watching a football game or a baseball game or a soccer game, and here's this asshole up there in the stands. He's got his hand up to block the sun so he can see, but he's got a hat on. It's turned around backwards. Some of the bitch isn't smart enough to figure out that's what that little bill is for.
That's a smack.
To keep the sun out of your eyes.
That's not a yuppie. That's a smacked ass. But a yuppie won't have any hat on because he can't mess up his hair. He can't.
Oh, well, yeah. He's got too much money invested in that hairdo.
He's a yuppie metrosexual. His hair's not messed up. He's got his socks fine, got his shoes fine. He's chewing gum like you wouldn't believe because he can't smoke because it's just not. It's not. He's
in his white shorts with knee socks.
It upsets. No, they would never have knee socks. No fucking way. Not yuppies. Not pure metros. No, they don't show socks. No, and they
do when they play tennis.
Well, if they're fruits, they do. But I mean, these ones are straight heterosexual ones. These are the ones that they just gangbuster ass clowns, and they have to have the certain kind of clothing. It's got to be ironed, and they got to have their fucking car, and they have to talk a certain way, and they have to chew that gum, and they're all fucking rude. They're all fucking disrespectful, and every one of them can suck my big swollen white cock. Fuck every one of them. Yuppies.
I bet I'm willing to bet that you don't belong to a yacht club.
Not me, Dennis. I don't belong to any club. I've never belonged to that's another sign of a fucking pure fucking asshole. Anybody that's got to belong to something, you're already way off kilter. You have no self-identity. And that's different if you belong to the VFW or something like that. That's different. That's veterans. That's a different story. But if
the American Legion,
that's different. But if you need to belong to some stupid ass Facebook group that meets trust me, you're an ass clown. Everybody's going, what are you, high and mighty? Yeah, I'm high and mighty. I'm way up high and mighty. And I'm the high and mighty that's telling you you're an asshole if you need to meet somebody every 2 weeks from now to talk about needlepoint or fucking marble shooting. Listen, get yourself your own identity. Pull your head out of your ass. Stop being a follower. And everybody follows everything. Here it is, Dennis. It's not appropriate to say that. It's not appropriate to watch that. It's not appropriate to do this or do that or this over here. Who gives a fuck? Listen, if you're so controlled by what everybody else thinks, and let me tell you, most of the society is wrong anyway. They had it right in the 70s. Man, I got wicked heartburn. Probably from talking about all these assholes. When you talk about assholes, you get heartburn. And then you get a shitty breath on top of it because you're talking about assholes.
Well, I guess it's that time.
It's that time. Like menstrual time. It's here. Sounds like Batman, though, right? Little bit?
Little bit. Kinda. In a funky way.
Flush After Listening, the show where we talk, you listen, Sometimes we say something that makes sense. Sometimes we don't give a fuck. It's good.
Well,
it's bad. But
it's always good.
Pointing on your... It's all on your point of view.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll say it.
Say it, Dennis.
Good night, Amadeus.
Buenas noches from the land of milk and honey. Let's listen to the sounds of superheroes.